started out with a stock Ford pickup, and it became the first monster truck. 20 years it's gone into an industry. We have probably 200 or 300 vehicles that we race around the country. In fact, we race around the world. We've been in England, Malaysia, Japan, Australia. It's been 20 years. It's been a wonderful 20 years, and I have no idea what's going to happen in the future. From the car crushing, we went to the next stage of monster truck we call Stage 2, and they were a much heavier monster truck. We started, instead of crawling on the cars, we started jumping on them and really smashing them. And that lasted for several years, and then we started racing trucks, and we found that those were too heavy to race. So then we designed trucks with tubular chassis. That was done in a CAD program. And the truck's weight was dropped down to 10,000 pounds, and they went from this, big heavy 15,000 pound vehicle down to a 10,000 pound vehicle, $40,000 engines, $150,000 truck, and they're very, very, very fast. When you use a tubular chassis, you can make it lighter than a C-channel, heavy frame, and yet have more strength where you need it. All these changes, the computer-aided design, the suspension, we're even cutting our tires to make them lighter and making them get better bite. I think we have better drivers now, have given us a lot better competitive edge. And monster truck racing is getting very competitive nowadays. To me, the success of Bigfoot is, of course, it's in a lot of the mechanical things that we put into it, but it's our crew, our shop people, people that build these trucks from scratch, the design we put into them, and especially the drivers. Used to be all Bigfoot trucks were blue. Today they're all sorts of colors, and with the coming of fiberglass bodies, just about any shape you can imagine. It's been more than 20 years since the first Bigfoot. At one time or another, 17 different vehicles have carried the Bigfoot name across the country and around the world. About the fast tracks is when you see it run, it's like an unstoppable force. Plus, it's a lot of fun to drive, although it's pretty rough as compared to the suspension trucks. What runs today as Bigfoot 11. When we first built it, we put a lot of new ideas into it, and we really weren't sure everything was going to work. Apparently we were right on track, though, because it was a points champion for 2 years in a row. Snakebite was a breakthrough truck in a lot of different ways. It was our first truck that wasn't blue and wasn't called Bigfoot. It was also the first of what we call character body trucks. Our wheels was actually Bigfoot 14.
probably the most consistent race truck we've built. It was second only to the Bigfoot 11 in 1994. It won the series in 1995, and in 1996, with the Bigfoot Blue Body, took the title again. The next three trucks are character bodies, and they go on various Bigfoot chassis. They are all sponsored by World Championship Wrestling, WCW, and they relate to such wrestling stars as Sting, Hollywood Hogan, and their bad guy alliance known as Dungeon of Doom. One of the really neat things about monster trucks is they really are giant flying trucks. The flying is a big part of what really thrills our fans. But like they say, what goes up must come down. Unfortunately, they don't always come down smoothly. Sometimes they bounce funny, sometimes they go sideways, and sometimes they turn over. And when that happens, our first concern is the driver. Is he all right? Fortunately, we've engineered a lot of safety into our trucks. So the driver usually walks away, usually more upset than hurt. Then the concern is, how badly is the truck torn up? When I first saw this wreck happen, I thought the truck was totaled. But after months of work, we put it back together. We teach our drivers to power out of trouble, but sometimes too much power causes more trouble.